let's start with the information of this moon. So before we start with that, I would like us to go over where we're coming from. Astrologically, we're coming from 2 eclipses. And remember, if you followed the last 2 meditations, we worked on deconstructing old patterns, old geometries for the solar eclipse in Libra. That's also the current home of the South Node. And in the lunar eclipse, we worked on creating new patterns, new structures to support us in what we want to do. For the lunar eclipse in Taurus, which is the sign of matter, materialization, and manifestation. That's the general kind of, let's say, the most recent history of where we're coming from. Also, we're coming from a super packed weekend where on the Saturday, we had the 11/11 portal day, which was a lot about coherence and alignment. On the same day, we had a coronal mass ejection hitting the Earth. What that means is we received a massive burst of light again. And Sunday was Diwali, which is the festival of light in Indian culture. And today we have the new moon in Scorpio, who, despite its reputation, is the one that sees in the dark. Scorpio is the light that brings consciousness into the darkest places. So probably you've noticed a theme around light and consciousness and bringing light into the darkest places. And this is what we're going to be working with today. So let's go with this new moon. So the new moon is when the sun and moon are in the same place in the sky from our perspective on Earth. And today they were conjunct, which means like together to the degree, at 10:30 a.m. this morning, exactly 10:27 my time, so approximately 11 hours ago. So new moons are a moment to begin something new or to seed a new intention. So if you have an intention, some projects or things you wanna seed, this is a great. Also check in your chart in which area it falls, which house, and the house will give you the theme that is particularly active or activated by this new moon. And yeah, so it's time to set the new intention for what's next. And all that we've been working on about deconstructing patterns, building new one, we can also just, as a blanket wish, see that right now. Something important that I want. Since we've been working together with astrology, which is almost a year now, we've worked a lot on looking at our patterns, shedding light on, which means consciousness, on our behaviors, reflecting on what we want, lifting veils, seeing deeper within, imagining more of what we want. And it might seem that we've been doing a lot of the same, but that's not the case. We've been working in layers. And if you take a moment to think about all that happened over the past 10, 11, 12 months, and all the work that you've done, you will see that each time we were working one layer more and one layer deeper, one layer deeper. And it looks to me that we're hitting the deepest layer in those moments. Like soon the energy is going to change and we're going to be doing something else. So I really encourage you to do the however painful, however, sometimes not impossible, but sometimes you don't know how to go about doing some work about some conflicts that you have, things that you want to resolve. But I really encourage you to do the most that you can right now, because we have the support for that kind of work now with the stars. In a few months, And within the next 3 years, it's going to move completely to something else. So Saturn has already starting to move. It's moved direct at the beginning of the month. Neptune is moving direct on the 6th of December. Uranus is moving direct again in January. Pluto is moving in Aquarius in January. But it's going to be, and finally at the end next year. What I mean is that the movement of going towards a different type of work is starting. So it's a little bit like, I mean, we always can do work and resolve conflicts or our lives. But what I mean is really, really full of head to do that. So be patient with yourself, be kind, and just do it. I want to say. And also this isn't also about an incremental change. So the other great reason for the work, apart from evolving and bettering ourselves, it's also, we have so much help that we're about to make a quantic jump in who we are, the version of us that we're trying to implement. So it's really worth it. Can you all see me well and hear me well? Someone seems to have problems. Okay, thank you. So that new moon is happening at 20 degrees 44 of Scorpio. And we know it's the sign that scares everyone for its intensity and its ability to love to put his fingers where it hurts. But that's very useful, and we're going to see why it's useful. So what we need to understand about Scorpio is it has the ability to see things as they are. So it's very far from the conditional attitude of Cancer. I'm talking about water signs because it belongs to the trinity of water, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And it's far from the dreamy attitude of Pisces, right? So it's somewhere in the middle, and that's super useful for us to evolve. It's the one that seeks unconditionality, that goes to the depth to liberate us from conditions, the conditions of Cancer. Remember, we spoke about that, I think, a couple of months ago. And those conditions are our patterns, the things that we have not healed, the things that are in our unconscious and that we are denying. So this is what it hurts. It hurts because it's making us see things that we don't see or we don't want to see, because maybe we don't know how to deal with them or we don't know how to resolve them. So Scorpio wants to know itself. And so for that, it goes to the depth, and with its little lamp and the darkest places, it's going to bring light and consciousness there, so that it can and transform. So Cancer is the physical aspect of water, and Pisces is the spiritual aspect of water, which leaves Scorpio as the emotional aspect of water. So it's the bridge between these two. So it kind of manages to unite the limitations of the physical body, which as a body we have limitations, and the infinite, let's say, capacity to dream and to create the wildest realities of Pisces, the mind aspect of it. So it's also at a very kind of a crucial point in the trinity of water. And the most important thing, or maybe not the most important, another important thing is Scorpio has that ability to create nutrients from garbage, that from which is all the things that are conflictual within us. It has that ability. Remember, the ruler of Scorpio one of the ruler of Scorpio is Pluto. Pluto is the one that helps you transcend, helps you shed things, helps you transform, destroy to reconstruct, but not destroy and throw away. Destroy and take the nutrients and plant a new seed to create something new. And that's how nature works. We're currently in autumn. The leaves are falling. They're gonna rot, and then they're gonna create fertilizer, and it's gonna help new life to be born in 6 months. So that's the nature of the work of Scorpio, and that's what I think we should learn from the Scorpio. That's why it's an important archetype in the zodiac. We all know the example of the lotus flower that grows in mud. Who would think that the most sacred, the flower that's most associated with spirituality would grow in mud? Yes, look at our sacral chakra. This is where all our energy comes from, but the organs that we have in that area are our intestines. Everything that we reject after eating and that we don't need anymore is in the same place as where we create our energy, or where we hold the energy of creation. So it's really like an important thing to realize that when we need to go, because sometimes we don't really have a choice, we're presented with conflicts that we have to resolve. Sometimes we can not see them because we can, but sometimes we can't. And remember, Scorpio is the one that helps us look at it from that angle of, okay, there is a fertilizer for me to grow into something new, into something fresh, into something different, into what I want. Because the mantra of Scorpio is I desire. So there's also that aspect of not only cleaning the things that need to be cleaned and making fertilizer out of it, but also connecting to the desire, to projecting itself into what I want to be. Yeah. So that's Sun and Moon in Scorpio. And to make it a little bit more intense, because it's never intense enough for Scorpio, we have Mars that is joining the party with the Sun and the Moon. And Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio. So it's really at home, comfortable, intensifying all what I've just said, energizing it and giving it more fire. And so if you feel very intense in your emotions or fiery in your relations, I'm not saying that everything that happens to us is because of the star. We are still responsible human beings, and it's our responsibility to manage the energies that come to us. But Mars is let's say, giving us a little bit of fire in this district. So again, see the theme that is being touched by this moon to see where you might feel extra intensity. So check the house and check the meaning of the house. Yeah, so essentially that's that. So we have here the opportunity to go deep, to resolve patterns or wounds or things that we haven't seen yet. Usually, like, someone might, show that to you in the form of conflict or hearing something you don't like. All these are signs that is good to pick up on, to identify what is that thing that you don't want to see. So that's one part of the story. The second part of the story is opposing the Sun, the Moon, and Mars is Uranus. Uranus is called the Great Awakener. So it's It's a pure change, energy, innovation, freedom, think big, far ahead, and it's very explosive as well because it doesn't tolerate half-baked ideas or mild stuff. It wants big change. It's the ruler of Aquarius, and Aquarius is really out there. So it brings a lot of tension from the realm of Taurus because it's sitting in Taurus at the moment, which is the sign of matter, of comfort as well, and stability. So it's really here to shake us up. So it's kind of a push-pull kind of energy into, okay, get rid of the stuff you don't need and go create something that is beyond what you think is there. Like urging us to transform, making us get rid of things, but also, by shaking us, it opens our mind and our sensitivity to other options. I think that's really what's important to take away from this, is to stay open to new options. Where I used to do this like this, how about I do it differently? Do you understand what I mean? It's different to express because it's really going beyond what we used to think, or even, sometimes we have dreams that have been following us since we're, I don't know, since for 10 or 20 years. And then someday you sit and say, well, actually, that's not what I want. Actually, I want something else. Sometimes it dawns on us, but sometimes it's nice to just sit and say, okay, and revise it. Is it really what I want? When is Uranus coming out from retrograde again? Soon. Where is it? I think it's in January. So we're still in revision mode. So I think you get the key. It's one big piece, but with a lot of energy in it. So I think it's really important to act on that. And just above that conjunction Sun, Moon, Mars in Scorpio, we have a fixed star that is very, very interesting. A fixed star that is called Kepha Borealis. It's called the full price. And that refers to the law of cause and effect, where we pay the price of our actions. As you might have noticed, I usually don't say scary things in those things from the start, but this is not to be scary, but just to reinforce that idea of taking responsibility. The law of cause and effect is the one that says, if you act a certain way, expect to see the consequences of the way you acted. So it's really putting us in full responsibility of who we are, what we're doing, where we're heading. We choose, we decide. So that's one aspect of this star. Another aspect of it is that in China, it's called the roots of the sky. And she speaks about the exam that the soul must pass before going further on the initiatic path. So again, it's a question of work completely and to the maximum that we can. We get the help to go further, to go to the next level, to the next stage. And we have the help of that star to do that, as long as we do our part of the work. I think that's how we should take it. It's also the chest of the dragon, the middle road. and the fire of the all-encompassing love, that if it's properly anchored in us, it's really the pillar of our growth. So by the fact that it's conjunct to the sun, which is the source of light, the spirit, it helps us overcome the challenges of spiritual or material nature that we're facing. So it's really a great help into what we need to do right now, as well as putting us in front of our responsibilities. Any questions? Or comments or something? Sharings?
What about the world?
What about the what?
The world, like what's happening in the world and how the skies look at it. Or what do we see?
I'll leave that at the world level. Like Mars, of course, is the energy of war, and Uranus is the shaking it up. But again, we know, we forget a lot that also what's happening outside is what we have inside of us. So by us doing the work in us, we're helping healing the world. It might seem a little bit light, said like this, while people are dying and families are being broken and very serious things are happening on a material level. But each of us has a place and a role to play in that entire kind of configuration. Wherever we are, we can help in our way. So I don't know what else to say, really. It is a very tense aspect and very explosive aspect, that's for sure. Because prayer works, that it gets appeased, and that we don't go into an escalation that, you know, harms more people, kills more people. Yeah. Shall we ask the advice of the inner earth people?
Yeah.
Here we are. Relations, the ancient Mayas. Can you see? So we see a sky full of stars, mountains, and birds information. Let's see what it means. And it's card 13, which is today's date. All right, relations. We, the ancient Mayas, are beings that work in teams, like a big family that stays together. With this message, we would like to remind you of the importance to surround yourself with beings that are similar to you, so that you can achieve your missions here on Earth. The beings that you surround yourself with have a big impact on your aptitudes, or abilities, and the development or non-development of your possibilities of creation. Take care to cultivate real exchange and to put emphasis on relations that are healthy and without ambiguity. A good friend will help you infinitely more than a gang of friends that doesn't really know you and doesn't really manifest a deep desire to learn how to know superficial level in your daily relationships, and nourish the ones that deserve that you put your energy in them. The essential key is the relations in our lives are the engine of evolution. Learn to recognize the relations that will enrich you internally. Does it speak to you? Okay. Any further comments? If not, we'll go to the meditation. So the work that we've been doing in analyzing, understanding, searching, looking within for the past few months is slowly coming to a close. I'm not saying it's finished, but it's slowly, we're gonna move to something else. But we still have a lot of energy to do it. So make the most out of it. Look at last weekend, all the light that we had. And after that, we'll be moving into manifesting, incarnating all the stuff that we've seeded, all the work that we've done, all the cleaning we did, all the imagining our new selves that we did. It's going to be time to make it happen. So today in this meditation, we're going to try and bring light to the deepest parts of ourselves and heal those parts so that we can create from a different perspective and a different point of view. So make yourself comfortable. I'm gonna put the music on. So sit comfortably, clear, stretch. Yawn if you need to, and get ready to with the information of the Once you find your posture, make sure your spine is straight. Relax your shoulders, your arms, your belly, your face, all those areas where tensions can get accumulated. And start breathing through your nose. Take a deep breath in and exhale through your mouth. Another time. And third time. And start breathing through your nose. Exhale, very gentle. Feel the flow of air coming in and out. On the shore of a beach. Connect with your axis. Imagine it, see it, feel it like a tube going from your perineum and once you found that axis, breathe in from axis and release with the exhale. Breathe in into your axis and release. Another time, breathe in from the earth and exhale. Breathe in from the sky, cosmic energy. And release with the exhale. And a third time. Inhale telluric energy from earth, up your tube, and release with the exhale. Inhale cosmic energy from your head. And exhale. And release. Breathing. Observe. To the earth underneath and the sky above. And I start diving into myself. I imagine, I see, I feel that I'm going within, exploring my body from within. And I find myself in a galaxy full of stars, meteors, clusters, dust, one star brighter than the other. And I start to explore. I go to my feet. Legs, my knees, my hips. I go to my torso. And I explore wherever I feel like going. My shoulders, my arms, my hands, the tip of my fingers. I'm completely immersed in the galaxy that my body is. My organs as clusters of stars. I see my cells, the flow of blood, my muscles, and I travel all around. I keep exploring. Going each time deeper. First it's an organ, and it's parts of the organ. Then a cell, until I reach the atom. And I realize that each atom in my body is a solar system. The nucleus being the sun, surrounded by planets revolving around it. And I understand that my entire body is actually made of stars, made of light. And that the only pain that I feel are those corners where I haven't been able to see the light consciously. And I ask myself, show me the wounds show me the conflicts that I haven't been able to see with my consciousness. Show me the patterns that are making me suffer. Show me the behaviors that no longer serve me. And I explore my body, and I listen. I listen. I'm being directed. And I take that pattern, that conflict, that behavior, that pain, and that suffering. I take each one of them in my hands, and I take them to my consciousness on my forehead. And I take them one by one. And I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I travel back to my heart. And from there, to a feeling that I've experienced of unconditional love and acceptance. And I connect deeply with that feeling, letting it fill up my heart completely. And once again, I breathe in from the earth into my heart. And with the exhale, I release that unconditional love into my entire body, down to the last cell. And I breathe in from the sky into the heart. And with the exhale, I send love and acceptance unconditionally to the entire galaxy that is my body. Another time, I breathe in from earth into my heart. And with the exhale, I send that feeling to every corner of my body, of the galaxy that I am. That's another deep breath in from the sky, straight into my heart. Then from there, send it all around. And one last time, I breathe in from earth into my heart. Infuse my breath with that unconditional love, joy and acceptance. And with the exhale, down into my body, to each atom. And I inhale from the sky into the heart. And I exhale into my body. And I come back to my heart and observe. How is my body? My axis? How do I feel? And I place my hands on my heart. And I recognize that I am evolution. Through destruction, I find the nutrients to sustain my expansion. I am consciousness that sees and heals the wounded parts of my being, for I see with the eyes of truth and unconditional love. I am the light that pierces through the unconscious. I am transmutation. I am expansion. And I activate with the nasal sound and breath in and a deep breath out. And I bring my consciousness to my body, massaging it. Coming back here and now. And when I'm ready, I can come back. Everyone. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I wish you a wonderful new moon and fruitful transformation to all.
Thank you.